Hello and welcome to the Duquesne Sports Pregame Show here on DSTV. I'm Jack Morgan, alongside me Dylan Pfister and Peter Betcher. And today we are previewing for you the second game of the season for the Duquesne Dukes women's team. They will play the Niagara Purple Eagles at 1 p.m. on Saturday, and it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, Niagara comes into this game, and we'll start with the Purple Eagles. They come in having won their first game 75-51 against St. Bonaventure. They won the NIT last year. I mean, we'll start with you, Peter. I mean, what stands out to you for this Purple Eagle team?
I mean, I'm looking at this Niagara team. Granted, you just said they won the NIT last year, but they played an A10 team, and I think coming to another A10 opponent, that's certainly going to get them prepared for a Duquesne team. I'm definitely going to look to see how Megan McConnell and Tess Myers performed this game. Granted, they had a little bit of a tough start against the Princeton Tigers, but I guess we'll get into that later. But, yeah, that's one of the many things I'm looking forward to in this Purple Eagles team and this game.
Dylan, what are your thoughts on this Niagara team?
For me, it's really consistency. If you look at their stats from the win that they had, their stats improved throughout the game. Almost every stat category got consistently better as the quarters went on, and that's big for a team, and you don't see that very often. That's big for them, and they're playing the Dukes, a team that has been known to be great late in games and be very clutch. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see those two sides come together.
Absolutely, and something to point out here is the junior guard for Niagara, Aliyah Parker. She's very good. She averaged 16 points a game last year. I mean, you don't see that much. You were talking about it, Peter, with and we'll shift to Duquesne here. You talk about Meg McConnell. You talk about Tess Myers. And Coach Burt's for the Dukes saying that it was one of the best 1-2 punches in the A10. Mm-hmm. Where do you stand on that take? You think he's onto something there?
I think he definitely has to stand towards that statement. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, granted, you see last year, Tess Myers is just a consistent threat from the outside, and Megan McConnell really being a threat in the inside and just ball movement overall. But I think the ball movement is also something to look forward to in this game. In the scrimmage against Mercyhurst, Niagara forced, I think it was, 46 turnovers, and they also got 24 turnovers out of St. Bonaventure. So coming into a game against another A10 opponent, that's definitely something to look forward to, especially with Megan McConnell, who can pass the rock easily.
It's a welcome challenge for the Dukes, who lost their last time out against Princeton. Dylan, in that one, what went wrong for them?
Well, I think it's obvious. Again, if you go back to the stats sheet, you see that McConnell and Tess Myers did not have games that they typically have. So that's definitely where they went wrong, is the stars were not out against Princeton. But, however, who was out were the very skilled players for Duquesne who aren't really labeled as stars. The players like Amaya Hamilton and Precious Johnson, Ayanna Townsend, they played absolutely fantastic, and that's going to be big for them moving forward when they have days that the stars aren't able to shine as brightly.
Absolutely. You were saying, Peter?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think this Duquesne team against Princeton, I believe they really showed what this team can be outside of the duo of Megan McConnell and Tess Myers. You saw Maya Hamilton going 5 for 5 at the three-point line. That's definitely saying something to her skill set. I believe you could also just look at Ramey and coming in from North Carolina Central. I mean, putting in some effort. 4 points, you getting a rebound or two, and you're also just seeing Precious Johnson going 4 for 4 at 3 for line, getting those 4 points. That's definitely going to help the team. So,
I think another thing for the Dukes, and like you said, with the turnovers that were forced by the Purple Eagles last time out against St. Bonaventure, I mean, that is going to be huge. And I think we did talk about this on the press box, actually, where the turnovers were going to be key for the Dukes heading into this year. You still believe that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I believe that watching...
And not even just in the game against Niagara, you think going forward?
Going forward with every single game, because they're going to play Howard, a very traditional team when it comes to just how they play. And of course, the city game that's going to be right after, and that's the home opener for the game, for those who don't know. So I think watching the turnovers is definitely going to be key for the Dukes. I think you also just need to watch ball movement and how really they really adapt to the Purple Eagles defense coming into this game.
So now let's talk about kind of the inside for the Dukes, inside the paint. You have Ayanna Townsend, and you also have Precious Johnson, who didn't play as much. Johnson did not play as much, only playing 14 minutes last time out. Do you expect to see a little more action from Precious Johnson? Or are you intrigued by the prospect of more minutes for Johnson? She did have a lot of action last year. Would you like to see her again to get it going a little more?
Oh, absolutely. And granted, she did have also a rough start against Princeton, going 0 for 5 from the field. But, I mean, if she could get to the free throw line, get to the charity stripe, and just
Where she was perfect.
Yeah, where she was perfect, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I'm not really going to put pressure on her. I'm not going to have expectations. But if she could really step up from her game from the last game against Princeton, any way, that would be an improvement. So I would definitely take a win where I can.
Dylan, where is your big key for the Dukes? Is there a certain player that you see that you think is going to be a player that needs to get it done for the Dukes on Saturday?
On Saturday specifically, I guess I could talk about McConnell or Myers, but I think specifically Tess Myers is really going to have to get going from the three-point line. And I just think that overall a key to victory for this specific game, I think overall the Dukes have been they've been good at spreading the ball recently in recent years, especially last year. They're good at spreading the ball. They're good at letting everybody have good games once in a while. But I think specifically right now to win this game, this is a big one. I think they need I think they need Megan McConnell and Tess Myers to have a fantastic game, and Tess Myers has got to get going from the three-point line. With that being said, the rest of the team has played fantastic. Like we said, Amaya Hamilton, 5 for 5. Ayanna Townsend had a great game. So I think if the likes of Myers and McConnell can get going, I think the team is going to follow, and I think that they're going to do well.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I think this team is going to be really it's going to be a really big benefactor going into this game that they really struggled in their last game. So I think that X factor of McConnell and Myers is going to be a really big X factor for this game. Just if they hit their stripes or hit their strikes when they can. I mean, Tess Myers, she averaged 3 for 7 from the three-point line last year. She could get back to her average from the three-point line. I think could see the Dukes walking away with the win here.
And it will be the first of 10 games out of conference for the Dukes. And, I mean, these out-of-conference games for both sides, and it's not just Duquesne, it's Niagara here, you sort of get a chance to see players that not necessarily would get as much minutes in a 10 play or MAC play. Who is someone that you're looking to get more minutes here for the Dukes or for the Purple Eagles as well, that you're excited to see the prospect of what they can bring to the table?
Well, we saw Niall Bernard get some playing time last year, and she played decently against Princeton. She played for 21 minutes, but she did only take 3 shots. So not so much more time from her, but I would like to see a little bit more production from her and just a couple more attempts. But, yeah, a couple more minutes in the game can't hurt for her. She's really feisty. She can take shots. She can take threes. She can drive into the paint. I would like to see a little bit more from Bernard moving forward.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How do you?
To go for the Dukes, I was just going to go with Tess Myers as always, just being a lethal threat from the three-point line. If she could get that average of three-pointers made from 7 shots from the three-point area, I think you could definitely see the Dukes coming away. I think you also have to look out for either Precious Johnson or Megan McConnell. I think it really just depends on who really hits their shots, but I think we just have to see that when the game comes. As for the Purple Eagles, one player I'm looking forward for is Destiny Strother. She played 3 years from the school right down Forbes Avenue, Pitt.
Right.
She definitely knows this team well. I'm definitely really looking forward to see what she can do against a team that she has well played against for the past 3 years as a Pitt Panther. So.
And Duquesne, for Niagara, I'm gonna bounce off what you said. There is the girl that I'm most excited to see here is Kylie Buckley, freshman forward, 6'1", from Livonia High School in New York, and she played varsity for 4 seasons. She is the career record holder in points scored at that school with 1,864. She averaged 26 points a game. And she only got 12 minutes in the 75-51 win over St. Bonaventure for the Purple Eagles. but she scored 6 points on 2 of 3 shooting. She also snagged 5 rebounds. She did get into a little bit of foul trouble with 3 fouls. However, if she can get out of foul trouble there, we might see a different story there for her points production. But like I said, she's still a freshman, so got a lot to give here for this Purple Eagles team. I'm interested to see what she brings to the table.
Jack, you took the words right out of my mouth because I have Kylie Buckley's stats pulled up right here, and that's what I was going to say. I would love to see her get some more minutes. Like you said, she was 2 of 3 for field goals, and she was 2 of 3 at the line as well. 5 rebounds. 4 of them came offensively, actually. She's just a freshman, only 12 minutes with numbers like that. It'd be very exciting to watch her play a little bit more coming up.
And one thing that I'm definitely looking forward for, guys, one thing you brought up, Jack, was that the Purple Eagles players did get a little bit into foul trouble there. And the Dukes did get to the free throw line way more than the Princeton Tigers, who only went 9 times compared to the Dukes 20. So I think that is definitely something to look forward for. But I think maybe if they expose Buckley's, let's say, defensive habits of, I guess, drawing a foul, then I think Duquesne, again, might draw a win here. But I guess we'll see what happens.
Especially with the combination of Precious Johnson hopefully getting some more playing time. And she's always dangerous at the line. She went 4 for 4 against Princeton. So, I think that combination of those fouls being drawn and having the right people on the court for Duquesne will prove very successful for them.
All right, so we're going to go into our keys to victory here. So we'll start with you, Peter. Your keys to victory for the Dukes and the Golden Eagles. What both teams need to do to come out on top on Saturday afternoon.
Well, I guess for the Purple Eagles, I'll start off there. They need to watch the fouls, and they need to really watch out for the Dukes getting to the line. Again, Duquesne making it to the line 20 times against Princeton. So I guess watching out for those free points is definitely something to look out to. As for Duquesne, I'm definitely looking forward to as what Coach Dan Beard calls the best 1-2 punch in the A-10, Tess Myers and Megan McConnell. But again, we just have to be patient. We just have to see how the game unfolds for them. Dylan?
Well, I think there are some clear weaknesses in this Duquesne team, and a big one that we've seen this season in the first game, and we saw a lot last season, was that offensive rebounding. So I think if Niagara really takes advantage of that, and they're very aggressive offensively, and they know coming into it that that's our weak point, if they attack that, I think they're going to be very successful at getting shots back up, and I think that can lead them to win this game. As for Duquesne, Peter, unfortunately, I'm just going to have to agree with you on that one. Tess Myers and Megan McConnell, very excited to see them go back out there after both struggling a little bit in the first game. I don't think they'll have any trouble moving forward. I think it's going to be exciting to watch, and if they can get going, I think Duquesne's going to steal a win.
And you brought up the offensive rebounds. That's big for them, and they excel in that. Actually, so we talked about, or we didn't discuss it, but bringing it up now, 19 offensive rebounds for Princeton in that game. Niagara came up with 24 offensive rebounds. They had more offensive rebounds than they did defensive rebounds in that last game against St. Bonaventure. So the very big key there is to get on the offensive glass. And we're going to finish this one off. We're going to get our game picks here. Which one of you wants to start?
Dylan, you got to go.
Go ahead, Dylan.
It's going to be a close one for me. I definitely see the Dukes fighting. I don't see Niagara putting up 75 points again, but I do see them winning a close one against the Dukes. I have Niagara 60, Duquesne 55.
I'm with you there, Dylan. I really don't see Niagara getting over 70, but I'm actually going to have to go with Duquesne here. I believe that they're going to pull out just slightly, 67-65 Duquesne.
You almost took the exact score out of my mouth. However, you did not. And you did not take the team either. I'm going to go with Niagara here. I'm going to say it's 67-62. Okay. I think Parker has a good game for Niagara. But I also do think that Meg McConnell gets into double figures for points. I think she bounces back. That'd be great for the Dukes. I think Tess Myers ends up being productive, and you hope that she can be, productive as well. But we'll see what happens on Saturday afternoon. That'll do it for the Duquesne Sports pregame show. For Peter and Dylan, I'm Jack Morgan saying so long. Enjoy the game, fellas.